The harvest is at hand. It is Hunt Showdown's Halloween event. And let me tell you that it's basically just glorified minigame. Um, I think it's cool that they do it. You don't have to pay anything. There's free rewards, so it's kind of neat. Um, you smash pumpkins in the map. There's some on scarecrows. There's some just on the ground. You can also get these pumpkin points, as I've taken to calling them, from looting players. Um, I see what they're trying to do, but I have a lot of issues with this entire system. Starting from the get-go, I think hunt dollars is useless. I say that as somebody who hasn't prestiged. I'm not going to try to take this into like a 40-minute video, don't get me wrong, but like I don't see the reason to prestige because when I prestige, I'm going to lose all my guns, I'm going to lose all my money, I'm going to lose all my heroes, and even if I've got an increased rate of getting those back, it's not appealing to me. Like I I don't care about hunt dollars, and ironically I was thinking about this today, like the reason Escape from Tarkov is appealing is that like when you have your hunters, when you have your operators, like all of these guys are better than scavs because like you equip them. They're stronger, they've got a higher skill set, they've got more skills, they've got more adaptive learning, and they have an advantage on when they start in the map. However, when we do like quick play, like all of these guys are just free and equally powerful and sometimes better, and if you get your three clues, they're just as good. And it's obviously intentional. That's why we have the sole survivor system. But I've almost completely stopped bounty hunting because I care more about PvP than bosses, and I don't care about raising my level, and I don't care about getting more hunt dollars, and I barely use my blood bonds anyways because I think skins are kind of bullshit, which in full circle comes back to the final prize of this whole thing, which is the headsman skin, which you need to get 1,000 of these pumpkins for. So obviously I've done this already. I can't really complain. I'm at 996. I'm gonna get my hopefully my last 4 right now. But I think what bothers me is that I was thinking about like what makes a Halloween event fun, and the whole idea here is that like obviously this event is intended to get you to log in and play more. Obviously they want you to be like, you gotta log in and do it, and the caps they put in meant you have to come back over a couple of days, and this is going to reflect well on Hunt Showdown. It's going to have an increased population of players that are, you know, interested in this event. But here's my issue. I haven't really touched Hunt Showdown in months. And that basically includes a few games after like the introduction of like the bomb lance and the dual wielding and the bows, and like I guess my vision for Hunt Showdown was moving in a direction towards maybe some like missions. I like the trials. I thought those were a lot of fun and great, but ultimately it still just like comes back to this cycle of building money and guns in a place where you don't need them. Like even in Tarkov, like people don't run scavs because you don't really benefit in the same way from running scavs and going out there with their loot. Like you run a scav to get some loot to sell or maybe get lucky and kill a player. You run a player to explore the world, be better, go after bosses, have more of ambition, right? So it's kind of parallel in this in that your quick play is supposed to just be get yourself a soul survivor to recruit if you don't have any money, you know, go into the game, blah 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 blah. But it's like if I'm just going to use soul survivors, why would I reset my account anyways? You know what I mean? Like I'm just always going to use soul survivors. I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's like they have some great ideas and some great execution, and Hunt Showdown and Escape from Tarkov, and even that new one that's making its rounds, like the Forge or the Cycle or whatever. Like all of these games with this equipment investment kind of gambling subtext or outcome are obviously very popular for a reason, and it's that fear of loss. You know, the fear of losing what you have results in this intensity. Like, what a shot. Like, you would not fucking believe, right? And that's what drives the player base to become so addicted. That's what makes people so fascinated by the videos of people doing so well, is when it's like, man, I wish I could play that well. Like, you want to be Landmark, you want to be Pastilli, but you're not, whether it's from practice or hardware or just general inability to fucking perform, which, believe me, it's guilty on all 3 fronts over here. There it is, there's my 4, so I should have just got my, my headsman costume. I'm still going to try to play this out. I'm still going to try to get Soul Survivor for you guys and kind of keep my rant going as is. But I also expect my game will crash at some point. Anyways, all I'm saying is that I just feel like the shortcomings of this event are that basically it's like a mini-game ongoing in the rest of the game. And like, ironically, it's like they shouldn't have put pumpkins in quick play because it just further incentivizes not even bothering with the main game, which I just feel like every day more and more I'm pushed away from because like the bosses aren't difficult so much as they're annoying and redundant. That's not a fair assessment, but I just mean like for me, my heart doesn't go really racing all that aggressively when I fight bosses, but when I'm fighting other players, it's like, oh man, this shit is intense, you know? And it's the bosses don't really get up in intensity until you add in that, like, possibility of encountering other players, so they know it themselves. I guess my grievance is that, like, at the end of the day, your pumpkins that you're collecting, like, I need to get 1,000 points. I've been playing already and I've got 4. Now, granted, I haven't been in very long, but, like, let's say this is all the points I get this game, and there are some games where you won't even get this many. 250 games. 250 games. And now, like, when you're like, well, hang on, it's not as bad as you say, because they're trying to sell you the bronze shot. That's also something I want to address. Like, Hunt Showdown, whether it's because it can no longer generate the same level of revenue from sales of product, or that's because they believe they can just monetize their game more effectively, sort of to me has just become this, like, veneer of selling skins and adding other weapons and stuff. And while I think the other weapons is like a nice touch to improve the overall quality of the game and quality of life, I don't think it's an evolution of experience enough to keep the game moving in the way that it needs to. But I mean, obviously it's old, so I get it. I don't know. I don't know. They don't necessarily need to do anything that I'm saying with it, but basically, in terms of this event, I think the shortcomings are, I think the event should be something that's just happening in the game already. I don't think the event should be the sole reason people are logging in, but I think that's exactly what's happening here. I know there is a player off in the distance over there, so I'm going to try to reload my crossbow and get over there. Probably heard me kill that horse, so if he's smart, he knows I'm going to come in his direction, and he's gone slow. But no one is smart that's playing quick play. Thought I just saw somebody. I did see him there. I didn't hit any of those shots. I felt like all of those shots were solid. I can't even believe that. You watch me hit a pumpkin at 400 meters, no problem, and I can't hit this guy leading him on a shot when he's running back and forth like a video game NPC. Wait for this dude to just shoot me in the head from 400 meters. To run around not having any idea where the hell I was. Look, all I'm saying is that, like, when this event is done, not only am I going to be taking a break from Hunt Showdown, but it's like the slog, the grind, the shit show of having to grind 1,000 pumpkins. And I know that their ambition, their intention was to incentivize me to buy those grape shot things. Like, I understand. I'm just so utterly not interested in spending money on a consumable item to farm. Like, it doesn't improve my experience, right? Like, even if you get the grape shot, you're still wandering around like this, looking for fucking pumpkins, hoping to smash them for meager amounts of points. Because it's like, you're not even getting double unless you buy 2 or 3 of them. Really doubling up on the whole effect. So it's just, I don't know, like, a matter of principle, it was like I forced myself to grind through this and do it. And again, if you take your time, if you check every single place, if you prioritize the pumpkins over everything else, you can totally still walk away with, like, usually like 10 to 15, sometimes even 20 a game. If you can get a kill or find someone to shoot and loot their body, you're laughing. But, or in this case, 49, which is my personal record and the best one I've had based on looting other people's kills. It's like, why? Like, there's nothing about this event that is overly Halloween. Like, okay, the Butcher's got a pumpkin head, and you can get extra points for killing him that way, and Scrap Beat drops pumpkins, But having dealt with both of them, I can tell you that, like, the Butcher's Head for 6 points barely seems worth the effort and the guarantee that you're going to be attacked from other people. Like, I've already destroyed 6 pumpkins worth of fucking pumpkins here. Why would I want to go for a boss when I'm still stealthy and doing my thing? And I've only been on the bottom part of the map anyways, right? So, I mean, again, it's just me doing the best that I can to farm. And yes, if you used Grape Shot effectively, and if I used a ton of that money that I had that I just complained about having nothing to do with, I see it and I get it. But it's still, like, I just think of it from the perspective of the person who wants to spend no money, a person who potentially would have nothing already in it and have nothing to invest and nothing to lose. And it's like, all they're going to do is do what I did, which is just try to either grind it out or not bother. And again, when you're done grinding it out, at the end of that, 1,000 pumpkins, like, what do you have to fucking show for it besides a skin that you barely want to use because you're already burnt out on this game? I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I did it, so I can't criticize it as heavily or as aggressively as other people, but I still really think that this is an event that's missing a wasted opportunity. When I look at the Grape Shot stuff, I just see a desperate attempt to monetize, and I don't see it as interesting or fun. I see it as like a thinly veiled attempt to sell you shit. And I guess it's because they want you to use your blood bonds so they can sell more, because they want you to support the game. But I just, not only will I not do that, like, it's not conducive to what I would want to spend a finite resource on. Skins, maybe, but not weapon skins, because I don't give a shit. Like, maybe it's just because I'm too much of, like, a boomer gamer. Maybe I just grew up in a time where, like, character skins and weapon skins were just free and fun, or you could even mod and make your own, but, like, I'm not impressed at the idea of spending the equivalent of, like, real-life money on character skins. Like, I'm not of that Fortnite mindset or mentality. There's nothing about spending money on character clothes. Like I barely dress myself well in real life, okay? I can attest to that. Do you think I want to spend money dressing my character better than me? I mean, my character's dressed better than me. I'm not getting into that, but what I'm saying is that, like, it doesn't appeal to me to spend real life money on shit that's, like, not even that valuable. I don't know. But then again, the converse of that is, like, or the inverse of that is, like, no, just several amounts of time and hours, right? Like, getting the skin, unlocking it, but not wanting to spend money so I can stick it to the company. Look, I guess the main point I'm trying to make is that, and this isn't necessarily being well proven here given in this video that I've already found 17, but I just feel like 1,000 was way more than it should have been. Granted, they're trying to incentivize the purchase, and they even give you 2, but the 2 they give you are fucking bronze, and they're shit. They're like 0.3 of a return. I think sometimes if you smash a pumpkin, you'll get 3 instead of 2, but I don't even think it works all the time, so I don't know. After playing through a couple of them, I just wasn't that excited. I wasn't that thrilled about the process, and I just pretty much told myself I wasn't going to spend any money on them. If you could find them in the map, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm assuming they would never put them as a consumable you could find in the map, given that it would fuck with their bottom line. I think that wouldn't be too bad. I also think there could have been more enemies just in the world that could randomly spawn with pumpkin heads. Like, I think you could have done more. Because, let's say you're best. Let's say arbitrary, like, not even arbitrarily, but, like, I'm at 17 now. Let's say I don't just get killed by Dojima when I get there. Like, maybe I can get up to 20, maybe 25, 24, 25 if I win and get a kill or get to loot 2 bodies. But it's like, that's all hypothetical on if I play well, and let me be the bearer of bad news. My computer is more likely to give out before me playing well. That being said, it's like, so you're looking at 25 points a round. So you're still looking at fucking 250 games where you're just, like, and again, I guess it's in the backdrop, but I just think that, like, 250 games is a lot to put over a 10-day period in the holiday season, especially when you're not really spicing your game up all that much. I don't know, I know this is a rant. I know I'm hard to please. I know I'm a grump ass. I'm not saying I'm any of those things or not any of those things, and I'm not saying that the game's not good. I mean, I'm here playing it right now. I guess I just feel like I would like to see a little bit more. I just don't feel like this is all that in-depth. This basically just feels like farming disguised as content, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what this round holds for us. But I know that when I log out, I'm going to get my headsman skin, and I'm going to finish my rant, and then I'm going to want to take a break from Hunt Showdown, because I've been playing it for the last 3 days so aggressively to farm these goddamn pumpkins. And again, like, 19 is a godsend. I've had rounds where I get fucking 2. I've had rounds where I die in the first area, and I don't even get 1, so it's just like, Jesus. Joe's just playing pretty well, and someone just set off a trap. think Doge of Dejima shot me in the back while I was fighting that other guy. Yeah. Anyways. So that's on Showdown. Yeah, I don't know. I find myself frustrated because it's just like you have an opportunity to take your game and do some fun, new, and interesting stuff with it, and all you really do is spawn in pumpkins, like, and you force me to shoot them so I can get a skin. Nobody made me do it. Nobody forced me to do it. I did it just on principle. But I gotta say, like, it's just on the other side of it. Like, the only thing I wanted from the entire pumpkin event, anyways, was the skin. So it's like, why? Like this is the only thing I wanted. I didn't care about hunt dollars, as evidenced by my 58 Gs. I didn't care about an Obrez skin that, like, I don't know, I don't even care. I don't give a shit. That doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me. Again, not bad, but irrelevant. A joke because this just propagates you to be like, oh, this is how it works. But not only does it suck and barely made an influence, given that, like, half the time you're spotting them before you're seeing them with dark vision. But, like, it's advertising. It's advertising disguised as an award. Irrelevant. Dumb. Really dumb. Because it's like, it's an axe with some rope on it. Like lazy. Lazy. You have weapon skin competitions from your community, and I'm surprised this is what you go with. I know you don't want to hurt the coherent aesthetic of your game, but whatever. This is a joke. This is like, I'm looking at the equivalent of the Rockstar Online pass for Halloween, except it had more fucking masks that people didn't want. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I'm there. I got it. I did what I needed to do. I did what I wanted to do. But, like, it kind of unsatisfying. Like, standing on the other side of it now, like, I don't think I would do this again. I don't think I would come at it again from next year. Like, even if they were giving out, like, gold versions of these, it sucks. It sucks to go into a run where you've got one consumable item that you're not going to buy more of. So you're going to try to use it to foster your farming ability, just to then realize, like, oh, if you get killed, you lose it. Or even the farming ability is not that good. I don't know. In the end, I did it. I think that Hunt Showdown is a great game. It's a lot of fun. I wish that they would expand more into the world. Like, you've got all these neat props and stuff. Like, I think an escort mission would be cool. Like, I don't know why I got to turn everything into Left 4 Dead, but I just think that, like, you have such a fun engine. You have so many unique and cool weapons to fight monsters with and bosses. Like, there's so many people out there that love this shit but don't want to go through the hassle of PvP, whether it's from hackers or questionable shit or, like, accidentally wandering into a 2v1. Not that we know anybody that just happened to. Like, take advantage of it. Like, I think you could sell more copies of your game and maybe even more skins if your game was more than just PvP, right? Because you could say it's not, but the truth of the matter is PvE is the obstacles, the traps, and the bosses. And all of that is basically the board game that you're playing to compete with other players. I just think the Hunt could have more depth to it. Like, I like what they're doing. I hope they keep developing it. I really enjoy it for its tightness. It is incredibly fun. I love the VoIP shit talk. I really enjoyed coming back to it and playing it for a while. But after having to play, like, I don't know fucking how many matches I've played in the last little while, I don't want to continue. And I don't feel like, it doesn't feel that Halloweeny. Like, Scrapbeat drops a few pumpkins, doesn't really matter. And the butcher having a pumpkin head doesn't really matter. And then outside of that, it's like, there's just pumpkins you can shoot in the backdrop. Like, I'm not trying to hate on the game. I like the game a lot, and I care, and I appreciate that they're doing an event for the community that's free. I like that I just got a legendary hunter for free. I just think that, like, you could have done, like, here's a better way to look at it. Why don't you make it, like, 10,000 pumpkin points, put way more pumpkins into the map, and make pumpkins worth, like, 10 a point. Make it so that you can come out of there with, like, 100 points or something like that. If you want to make it a grind, make it a grind, but make it feel like I'm making more progress. Like, this was just so... Like, this might as well have just been shoot 100 pumpkins, and I could have just had to do... And there's only, like 2 or 3 in a map, right? Like, it's just... It's not until you start really looking at, like, the amount you have to do and the rate that you do it and the amount, like, that you just realize that it's all just kind of a slider. Like, it's all just relative. Like, yes, they spawn the scarecrows and the pumpkins where they want, but they're the ones that selected the point values, and they selected those point values because they wanted it to be low enough that you felt like you weren't getting enough so that you would buy the syringes, which, by the way, you don't fucking need to do. Anyways, I don't know. I got more videos coming. I've been in such a fucking dark, shitty place lately, and I don't just mean, like, the city I live in. But that's relevant to this and what's going on. I got more content coming, but that's Hunt Showdown. That's the headsman skin and 1,000 pumpkins smashed. I'm Billy Corgan. He's Homer Simpson, smiling politely. Anyways, all right. Yeah, thank you, and good night. I don't think I've actually purchased any of the legendary hunters, so this is the first time I get to see it too. But finding out that like once you purchase it, you still have to play blood bonds for it is kind of extra. But I mean, it's pretty easy to make money, but still kind of funny. And like again, with the rough amount that I've saved, it's like I could buy more characters, but I don't really see the appeal because once again, it's like I don't even fucking see this guy. Like, this is just what I look like. The only benefit is that you would want to make yourself look as camouflage as possible, which newsflash, doing a pretty fucking good job with the headsman. So I think we're gonna be a-okay.